Hi guys, so I just want to go over about several news today from February 2025 to March 2025. It's going to be about Solo Leveling, Dandadan, Demon Slayer, how they've been doing in terms of either it is about how many mangas have been selling, how well it's been doing, or views in Netflix. And Demon Slayer new film that they basically will finish up the last arc, I think in three separate films. But I'm going to give a day of when the first one's going to come out. And I'm gonna talk about some scandals, one relating to Fuji TV, and also about an anime producer what they done regarding children. And just the last thing will be just about how Japanese lawmakers are surprised how many people are pirating manga, which to me I'm not surprised. Uh, now I'm just gonna say that piracy is the reason why anime and manga are even popular outside of Japan. Just the truth. If it wasn't for piracy, most people would not know shit about anime manga. You need piracy for at least for anime manga for sure. Even some video games too, because some things never came out of Japan, and the only way we found out was through piracy. So, and that's not gonna change, especially with the multiple streaming services that are not that great for what you pay for. A lot of people getting tired paying for more and more every month, and every year, and keeps going up the cost for these streaming services, but you don't get everything. You have to have 4 or 5 different streaming services to watch every single anime. That's expensive. Why can I have one streaming service, pay 20, maybe $30 a month, but have every single anime and manga that came out? Now that makes sense. We used to have that until they got rid of one pirate website that had over 12,000 different anime series, and not a single one of these streaming services can even compare to the quality of that one. How much stuff you get, the quality of the video, and what you could do with the website, the equivalent of paid services are not the same. But that's a whole other thing to discuss. But anyway, this is an icon for Anime Hunch from February 18, 2025. Talks about solo leveling and Dandadan, the fastest growing graphic novels in North America. I would say manga, but whatever way they want to describe manga, I guess. They've been doing really well in North America, comparable to other really popular series like One Piece, the Apothecary Diaries, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Frieren is really amazing. The other thing too is how Patoka Diary is currently the best-selling light novel series. I find that really interesting. So 11 was cited as a top-growing series in books scan for 2024. So 11 is very basic. I enjoy it to a certain extent. It's not something I can watch all day. It's decent. So Disney Sekai, nothing special. But it's been doing really well. So good for the creator. I'm not complaining about that. And Heaven's official wrestling is leading in the manhwa category, which is Korean manga basically. So that's really good. For some horror style mangas, Jujutsu Kaisen, which is not my taste. Chojin X, never watched it or read it. That Gathering, I finished watching the first season. It was like 24 episodes. It's good but repetitive. And that's an issue. That might make the series kind of boring in the second season. And Kenny Stalking, never read or watched that. But that's it for this news. I'm happy, especially with Dandadan, which I call Dandadan the best new anime series of 2024 easily. I love the romance between okarun and Momo. I have no complaints with that for the most part, and the animations nowadays is so good. It reminds me of Fully Cody a lot. The next article, March 2nd, 2025, from CBR. It talks about how Dandan again hit over 90 million hours watching it in new Netflix stuff anime series ranking, which they basically divided to basically be the equivalent of 19.6 million views, which again is a lot for a series that is started in the 2020. Yeah, I think 2020. Yeah, it's been doing really well, and it's number one. Now, Dandan was number one Netflix most watched anime series. That's insane. After that's Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaba, Hashira Training Arc, decent season. Jujutsu Kaisen season one, Demon Slayer again, Kimetsu no Yaba. That's an entertainment district arc, which was better. It was more interesting. Great choreography. This is Rama Half, the remake of season one, which was it was fun. Plus Rama, it's something I read and watched before. Is nothing new. I like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer just being a road, man. I'm telling you. All the different arcs, Tanjiro Kamado, Unwavering Resolve arc. Mugen Train arc was also great. Demon Slayer has been really taken over. A great soundtrack too. Very on point. Dragon Ball Daima, I don't care for Dragon Ball like that. Not my taste. I like Spy Family. The Rise of Shield is a huge disappointment, especially after the first season. It just kept getting worse and worse. That's a whole other thing to talk about. But this series, I'm really impressed with Dandadan. It deserves the high ranking. It's a great series. If you haven't watched it yet, already do it. I understand that the manga might not be so focused at the romance currently, but I think it will go back to that more. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie hits cinemas worldwide this September 2025. So this arc is from March 9, 2025 by nightmares.com. And specifically, the movie will come out September 11, 2025, which is cool. Which again is going to be fine the ending of Demon Slayer. The manga's already been over for a while, but this for the anime, which they're definitely stretching it out. As I scroll down, you guys can just pause the video. In the United States and Canada, can catch the film in theaters starting September 12, 2025, just one day after its major international debut. So September 11, 2025 is, I believe that will be in Japan, but September 12th, 2025 will be US and Canada. So September 11th, I think most countries will already have that. So distribution plans includes all these. Cool. And then just more key takeaways. The first Demon Slayer Infinite Cast movie releases on September 11, 2025. September 12th, 2025 will be US and Canada. Just all the information. I don't think there's much more, just a lot of repetitiveness and all that. I just want to give out those news. Now, this is an interesting thing. Dragon Ball One Piece are not at risk amid Fuji TV sex scandal. This is a Screen Rant article from February 5th, 2025. I'm sure there might be more in the update. I had to look into it. But major scandal is now sweeping through the Japanese entertainment industry, and anime is getting caught in the crossfire. As reported by the BBC and other sources, Fuji TV faced a crisis after former SMAP member Masahiro Nakai was accused of sexual assault in 2023 and allegedly settled with the victim. And the network was criticized for attempting to cover Nakai's misconduct, prompting Fuji TV's president and chairman to resign. Yeah, this is obviously a big issue. With Fuji TV in free fall, fans are now wondering whether all the anime on the network, especially Dragon Ball and One Piece, could be affected. It could be. They might just be moved somewhere else. I mean, Fuji TV shouldn't be the only place people watch anime anyway in Japan. I'm sure they have their own streaming services, something that can allow them to watch these things without needing cable TV or only having Fuji TV as a streaming service for Dragon Ball and One Piece. So it's interesting. Damn, Luffy and Goku do look similar. They're similar characters anyway. So that was just what I wanted to talk about, one of the scandals. Another one is from March 3rd, 2025. Anime producer Kouichirou Itou sentenced to 4 years in prison. I believe it was because I think he had child pornography, but let me see. The Wakayama District Court has sentenced on Friday 53-year-old anime producer Kouichirou Itou to 4 years in prison for committing non-consensual sexual intercourse with three minor girls. So it's not just because he had child pornography; he literally raped three minor girls. That's a whole other thing. And only exchanging money with a 15-year-old girl he met on social media for obscene acts. So again, more sexual acts with minors. That's sexual assault already. Ito was charged with violating child prostitution laws and child sexual abuse, images laws in Japan, as well as rape. But he only got 4 years. I don't get it. Why not put this guy in prison for longer? Like, it doesn't make sense. Put this guy in prison for at least, in my opinion, 20 years. No way to reduce it. Why 4 years only? Bare minimum 20 years. That would be a real sentence. Should be, in my opinion, should be 10 years for each girl that he was having the so-called sexual intercourse and sexual assault. So those three alone, that should be already 30 years in prison. For this one, 40 years. So we know with life imprisonment, preferably, or at least no way to reduce the sentence. So this goes more in detail about this and how it was laid down. Yeah, but they are so light on these pedophiles. They just don't do anything in Japan about it. It's pretty disgusting, really. This one kind of move on from the arc because things, violence against children makes me really uncomfortable and just sad. Uh, it really makes me sad. And they always these criminals, these sparrows, keep getting away with committing sexual acts, religious sexual assault of children. It's disgusting. It really, and I know it happens a lot where a lot of these mangakas are pedophiles, but more can be done to prevent this. And Japan just slapped down the wrist. Disgusting. Anime Hunch website from February 1st, 2025 article talks about how Japanese lawmakers shocked by massive financial damage caused due to manga piracy. Again, they can claim this a lot, but if it wasn't for piracy, anime manga would not be as popular as it is today and as profitable as it is today if it wasn't for pirates. I'm just saying. We all have done probably some level of piracy at one point, but if it wasn't for piracy, anime manga would not be that popular. Even many video games would not even be known. Video games in general got really popular also thanks to piracy. Arguably speaking, Japanese lawmakers expressed shock and concern during a general meeting of the multi-party Manga Dai members league after learning that manga piracy could cost the industry nearly 1 trillion yen, which is $6.7 billion in 2024, reversing years of progress in combating illegal distribution. You know why people conduct piracy? It's because of lack of accessibility. There you go, I said it. It's because you don't provide accessibility outside of Japan, especially for people who live in other countries, to be able to read manga and watch anime easier. Even the US, you have to have multiple different streaming services to watch anime or read manga. Why? Oh, because they own all these different licenses. Well, make it easy to access, to have accessibility towards these type of entertainment things like manga and anime, and so that people don't have to rely on piracy. It's expensive. And the story, there's no excuses. So the meeting was attended by 60 lawmakers, 63 secretaries that basically talk about this issue, and they talk about how Vietnam, in particular, is emerging as a global hub for illegal manga distribution. Hiroaki Morita, who's a representative director of the anti-piracy organization ABJ, authorized books of Japan, revealed during the meeting that manga piracy has surged globally, with illegal sites attracting 1.5 billion visitors per month internationally. Yeah, because it's just easier to also read more manga. There's so many manga not being translated, or it takes weeks and months, if not years, to have something translated. You gotta fix that. Pay people more also, so that more people want to become mangakas and animators. Provide opportunity to people who are also not Japanese to be able to produce anime series and be able to write manga. That will make things easier, right? Make it more accessible. Make it easier for people to get into these type of fields in a fair way. Don't make it so difficult. So because piracy is no longer confined to Japan. Yeah, to Japan. We know that. We know that transition happening everywhere in multiple different languages. It's been going on for decades. This is not the first, it's not just anime, manga, video games. It's been happening with multiple different novels, TV shows, movies, etc. No, it is what it is. In many countries, reading pirated manga is seen as normal. Well, yeah, you know, what do you expect? Will manga and anime contribute 2.5 trillion yen annually to Japan's economy? The stakes are high. I will argue they're still making more money than they're losing. That's my opinion, but I will argue they're making more money than they're losing. But that's really all the news for anime news I want to give out for today. If you guys agree or disagree with anything, let me know in the comments. I'll try to reply when I can, and if I think it's worthwhile replying. Some comments might be more trolls or maybe not worth the time, but if I see like you maybe have a natural question or you actually want to talk about it, I'll definitely reply to you. And if you enjoyed the video, just like and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on TikTok, also follow us on TikTok. Comment there, and I'll also reply as I explained, depending if I think it's worthwhile my time also. And that's really it. I hope everyone has a good day today.